Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Action Comics number 252. Now, I'm only going to be reading the Metallo storyline. I might review the Supergirl one later on. So, basically this is a reprint, and I got this for £1.50 at Comic Con. Now, the cover you have Superman saying, "Great Scott, a girl flying? It must be an illusion. Look again, Superman. It's me, Supergirl, and I have all your powers." So yeah, let's go on the review. The cover has an unknown person being shot at, but doesn't seem to affect him. The story starts off how, after reading a news report, John Corbin says, "Ha, punk, I committed the perfect murder. The killer in that radio show forgot, but not I. I wiped my prints off, leaving the gun in the dead man's hands to make it look like suicide." So then he kind of skids off the road, and you've got Professor Vale and his assistants saying, "My heavens, Professor, that car skid off the road and overturned. The driver is pinned underneath." Stop the car, Edith. We must help him. He's badly injured. We'll have to take him to a local hospital." "No, Edith. He won't last that long. His only chance is if I operate on him at once and help me carry him to the car." So, pretty much after Professor Vale talks with John Corbin, he finds out that his body's been replaced with metal, and he also says there's this new power source that he's got called uranium, but only lasts for a day. And without it, he slowly goes weak. But he does says there's a second power source, but just then there's a lock slide saying, "The locks are flipped up against the house. We're trapped, Professor Corbin. And he realized he had a stroke, but leaves him behind and goes through the rocks like Candy. And decides to get a job at the Daily Planet. And Perry White's like, "I can use a good reporter, Corbin. So I checked your references. They're of the Eastport News. Recommended you highly. Come meet the gang." So, pretty much he handshakes Clark, and Clark realizes that something's not right with Corbin. And even Corbin tries to hit on Lois, but she doesn't take the romance well. And Corbin realizes that he needs more power or else he'll die. Then there's this kind of news report happening about the submarine not being able to break the record, and that the crew are losing oxygen. And Superman gets his costume into his cape and sees underneath and able to give air. And the sailors are like, "Hey, air, we can breathe. Thanks again to Superman. We don't have to surface. We can go on to break the submerged sub-record." So this then Corbin breaks through the Metropolis Research Library and steals as many uranium as he can, going to places like Hospital, Science Institute, the US Army Project, X-Full. So, pretty much, there's this new report about a daring stunt by a lady, and Clark decides to go there to stop her from doing something stupid, and pretends he's ill, saying, "Oh, these sour pickles I ate for lunch. They're giving me a stomachache. I'd better go home and get to bed." "What a softy you are, Clark. I ate the same pickles and they didn't bother me a bit." So he manages to head off home, and Clark manages to stop the actress before she does something stupid. And she says, "Some lucky rock must have deflected the barrel towards the shore. Since Superman never showed up, I'd have been killed if I hadn't over the falls. I'll never pull this stunt again." "Good, she's learnt her lesson." Just as Lois and Corbin leave, pretty much like Metallo takes the shots for Lois. I'm surprised that Lois didn't really think of being careful against the Mafia, because she's pretty much known for getting almost killed in certain situations. And at first, Lois believes that Corbin is Superman, and after hearing about the thing called Metallo, he realizes that he can pose as Superman, but has to shave off his mustache. So Corbin pretty much heads off, where he breaks into uranium preserve just when Superman shows up for a big event. And then you've got Corbin asking Professor Vale, who's recovered from his stroke, about what the energy source is. He says, "Kryptonite, its energy will last you forever. I have a sample in that safe." And so then he pretty much puts it upward and takes another source. And luckily, Superman manages to make Corbin fall for his trick, who manages to power down and reveals that the kryptonite is a fake, where it turns out that before he became Metallo, that Corbin forgot to wipe the gun clean, but not the cardiagus, and says that he committed the perfect crime. "I know, Inspector, he was dead wrong." Yeah, and this was the story. So, the Metallo story, actually pretty good. I think what makes the Silver Age interesting, it did have some moments where it could do some interesting stuff with the villains, and has the same Silver Age wackiness. So it deserves a good thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Review here, signing out.